Hard to believe this was a 3-point game a year ago. Got a feeling the point spread at the end of the day on Saturday going to be just a couple more points than 3. Great time to subscribe to the channel. Big Ten content every single day. Always crush the like button to spread the word of Big Ten Ted. Things are not looking good in this matchup for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. A lot of things working against Nebraska going into this game against Michigan. Casey Thompson doesn't look like he'll be able to go. I'll get to the quarterback situation in just a minute. And then on defense, you look at George Farmer involved in a DUI situation. He is suspended for this game. So, Nebraska, you know you're clearly outmanned. Nebraska, you know you are a big-time underdog against one of the very best teams in college football. Here's what you got to do. Because of the personnel that you have on offense, please, for the love of everything that is good, for the love of Tom and Frank Solich, run the darn ball. Like, I get it, Mark Whipple. You want to throw it around. I get that's you, but this is not Nebraska right now. This is a Nebraska offense where Logan Smothers should be the quarterback if Casey Thompson's not able to go. You got to lean hard into that run game. Man, I almost look at last year. Remember that game against Iowa where Logan Smothers come in and they were running the option and they were running reads and they were running the ball all the way down the field against Iowa in that football game? That's the type of game plan you need to try to approach with Michigan. You need to try to establish the running game early. Try to keep your defense off the field. Keep Michigan's offense off the field. Give those guys a break because the Michigan offense and the Nebraska defense are going to need breaks if Nebraska wants to stay in this game. It should be a run-heavy game plan for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The big question I have, can Mark Whipple get out of his own way and call some run plays? Look, I look back to the first drive against Minnesota. Anthony Grant is doing his thing. They're running the ball down the field. And they get into the end zone, and yet as this game progresses, they get away from the run game. And for some reason, they put the ball into the hands of Chubba Purdy and want him to make plays in the passing game down the field. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This is a Nebraska team that's got to be able to run the football right now. That's their method of success against the University of Michigan. Look, I think Michigan's going to be very stout against the Nebraska run game because really, what else does Nebraska have right now if Casey Thompson isn't able to go? Chubba Purdy hasn't proved that he can throw the football down the field. Logan Smothers is more of a running threat than a passing threat right now. So Michigan needs to sell out on that Nebraska run game. No question about that. Looking at the other side of the football, look, that Nebraska front was good early on against Mohamed Ibrahim. They were stout. They were firm against the Minnesota run game. But as this game wore on, you saw the toughness. You saw the grit for Minnesota, and you saw that Nebraska defense continue to wear down and down and down. You got to think the same thing might happen against Michigan because you know Michigan's going to run it. They're going to run it. They're going to run it. They're going to run it again with both Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. It's hard to imagine Michigan not really just pounding it down Nebraska's throat, considering what we saw last week, what we've seen throughout this season. Yes, this Nebraska has made some improvements in their toughness. Yes, the Nebraska defense has been able to tackle better. All the things that they weren't doing under Scott Frost, they've been able to do better with Mickey Joseph and now Bill Busch as the main defensive coordinator for the Huskers. But this is still one of the best offensive lines in college football. You got a Heisman caliber running back there in Blake Corum. You got a weapon in Donovan Edwards. Michigan has not been a great first half team. Okay, you look at last week against Rutgers. They're behind by 3 at the half to the Scarlet Knights. And, you know, if I'm Nebraska, I'm taking some of those things. Maybe we can get a block punt. Maybe we can do a couple of things. You know, maybe we can sell out and try to create some turnovers, things like that, to try to get the lead early because really that's the only way. Now, Michigan is a great second half team, and you saw it last week, and I think you've seen it kind of throughout some of these games. This is a Nebraska team, specifically a Nebraska defense that wears down over time. They just don't have the depth. They just don't have the numbers. They just don't have the talent. and the toughness on defense to match up with the University of Michigan. One thing I want to see from Michigan in this game, let's see J.J. McCarthy make some plays down the field. Okay, you're going to have some opportunities. This Nebraska pass defense has given up a lot of yardage this season. Look, we know Michigan's going to run the ball first, and we know they're probably going to be able to run the football in this game, but I really want to see J.J. McCarthy stretch the field at least a couple of times in this game, right? Run, and then go over the top against this vulnerable Nebraska passing defense. Look, it's probably not going to be close, but this is a prove-it game for Michigan. Okay, College Football Playoff Committee, you put Ohio State above us, we're going to go and lay a 50 spot. Who knows, we may lay a 60, a 70 spot on Nebraska. This is a prove-it game, and it could get ugly. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think Nebraska has a shot? I don't know. Just leave your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're going to compete in this game, but right now it doesn't look very good for Mickey Joseph and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And do you think Michigan can put up 50? Do you think they can put up 60? Leave your score predictions in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to Big Ten Ted if you haven't already. I'm Big Ten Ted, and we're going to see you in the next one.